Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to the Sheena Metal Experience with your host, Sheena Metal, right here on LA Talk Radio.
That's right. It's the Sheena Metal Experience right here on LA Talk Radio. For more info on the show, latalkradio.com, sheenametalexperience.com. Don't forget to email me and let me know what you think of the show. If you're looking for me online, all over social media, I'm just at Sheena Metal everywhere. I'm also the founder of a movement of peace and love and kindness and unity. We're at raisingthevibration.org and at IamRaisingTheVibration.com. It's Psychic Tuesday. You know what that means. That means readings, healings, spiritual counseling, and more on the air every Tuesday on Haunted Playground from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Pacific time, and every Tuesday on the Sheena Metal Experience from 5 to 7 p.m. My guest is going to be the wonderful Rebecca Haywood, my favorite shaman. But it's like my favorite Martian, but it's my favorite shaman. She is stuck in hideous traffic. People, SoCalers know, one of the most hideous drives that there is to go out from the west side or from Santa Monica, Venice, Malibu area, and come here to the San Fernando Valley. And it's funny because we call these shows Lightworkers Unite, and we're at lightworkersunite.com if you want to watch some past broadcasts. How many of my Lightworkers come from? Okay, well, Seth comes from Orange County. Jason and Angelica come from Malibu. Rebecca comes from Santa Monica. Alex comes from like the Wilshire district. I mean, this is a drive for these people. So when they come here to help you on the air, be thankful. Patty comes from the Hollywood Hills, but that's not so bad. Some are from out of town. Jenny Stewart, Belle Salisbury, Joy Koff. That's Indiana, North Carolina, Kentucky, Texas, respectively. And nobody really comes from close by. Pam Beatty's in the Valley. She's close. Everybody comes from somewhere to be here. Shauna Grace comes from the Hollywood Hills. So, be thankful that they've made the drive, because I literally live 3 blocks this way. So I'm practically at the studio anyhow. Seriously, I could walk, but that would make me in good shape. So anyway, today on the show, for the whole show, we're doing psychic readings, spiritual counseling, healings, your paranormal questions, your spiritual questions, whatever works for you. Rebecca and I are here for you today. And you can get on the air with us by texting me. It's 818-437-0886. Yes, I just gave my cell number out on the air. 818-437-0886. Phone works better if you plug it in. And we will get you on the list. And I'm so excited to have you all today. We've got some folks on the list already. I started building the list up right after Patty and I finished Haunted Playground today. So the list is already building, and there's folks on it. And as soon as Rebecca gets here, or maybe even before, we will get somebody on the phone, depending on how long she's going to be here. I'll start sharing the Facebook link around. All day, my throat has been doing this. I had a little something last week, and maybe this is the carryover for it. I had somebody call in during Haunted Playground today, and she had a lot of throat chakra issues. I don't usually pick up other people's physiological manifestations of spiritual stuff, but man, Patty and I both could not stop. Her eyes were watering. I was clearing my throat constantly, and I'm still doing a little bit of it. So it's got to be a spiritual thing, because in between Haunted Playground and the Sheena Metal Experience on Tuesdays, I do my Music Highway show. I was fine during that. So it's just, apparently it's just spiritual issues. 818-437-0886 to get on the air with us. My spiritual practice is at IamRaisingYourVibration.com. and at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. And let me tell you about some amazing web series I'm a part of. The beautiful Patty Negri and I do Living with the Dead. We're at wearelivingwiththedead.com and at Antiques Go Show. Those are our live shows, antiquesgoshow.com. The amazing Carolyn Hennessy and I do Altered, and we're at wearealtered.com, and our live shows are called Get Altered. So we're at comegetaltered.com. Both dates are pending for our next shows coming soon. Carolyn's show and mine, Altered, is about creating your own perfect sacred space, Living with the Dead. Patty and I talk about living with, it's emphasizing on the good spirits that make your life better. I'm also going to be in Dallas on the 28th, 29th, and 30th of June. My seminar is called Aspects of Spiritual Awareness with Sheena Metal. Come out to that if you're in the Dallas area. I would love to see you. Also, I should probably put this Facebook link up while I'm just sitting here chatting away. Also, oh God, so many things. This Sunday is my first Saturday night spiritual night at the Founders MCC Church in Hollywood. I'm so honored to be part of the pastoral staff there now, and had to have my own night there. It's going to be an interfaith service, speakers. It's going to be a blessing, music. I'm doing a sermon about how you are enough. It's going to be a wonderful day and really beautiful, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. There's no charge, of course, to get in. And if you want to make a donation, we would love that, but it's not a necessity. And please be a part of that. Next Sunday, the 23rd, I'm at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills doing one of my Raising the Vibration gatherings, the gatherings for my nonprofit. And those are a lot of fun. And it's just a lot of good things always going on. My Good Vibrations crystals are cleansed and blessed and charged and ready for you to take them home. They're ready to find a good home. If you want to order them, send me an email and I will get you more info. Sheena at IamRaisingYourVibration.com or text me 818-437-0886. Also, some other good news. Fridays, I do the I Am Raising Your Vibration healing circles live on Facebook from my bed. So if you want to see what my bed looks like and what my cat looks like, we usually get her on camera for about 10 seconds before she gets super cranky and disappears. Molly, the Oracle, psychic Oracle cat. Please find us there. They're a lot of fun. We get tons of comments, and all the chat rooms here at LA Talk Radio, or when I do my I Am Raising Your Vibrations. I'm going to be doing some late night paranormal broadcasts from my back patio soon called Haunted Playground After Dark. All of these things. What goes on in the chat room really becomes a healing circle. People meet friends, they get connected with people, they share experiences, and all of that is super beautiful. So, come for the broadcast, but stay for the healing that you get because of it, because that's a beautiful thing. So, just something to think about. It's a good community. And so if you're going to listen, and I love that you listen, and you're listening live, think about ways that you can participate in the live broadcast and just make somebody's day. I mean, I talk about this a lot in my posts, and I talk about this a lot in my shows. There's so much healing to be done in the world, and it's so easy to give a little bit of love, a little bit of kindness, a little bit of healing, a little feeling that, hey, I've got your back to somebody. It doesn't cost anything, doesn't take any effort. As you put out that energy will come back at you. There's beautiful things in the world, and we need to be sharing them with each other. More love, more peace, more kindness, more unity. Those are the cornerstone words of my nonprofit movement. And also because those were 4 words that my mom believed, because I founded raisingthevibration.org in her honor based on her spiritual teachings and her humane teachings. I really believe that, as my mother did, that those are 4 things that are lacking in the world, and we need to kind of work on that. We could benefit as a species from more peace, more love, more kindness, and more unity. And whenever you say peace, love, kindness, and unity, Rebecca Haywood appears. It's just a thing that happens. If you say it, she will come. Welcome, my lovely friend. How are you? It's so good to have you here. It's so wonderful to have you. Welcome to Lightworkers Unite.
I'm late as usual.
It's okay. You can be late. It's cool. You're on Scorpio time. It's not true. My mother was always like a half an hour early everywhere, and I was always late, and I think it drove her crazy. But she didn't have to drive from Santa Monica to Sherman Oaks every day. So if she had to, she probably would have been late too.
Yeah, well,
I was telling everybody before you got here what an ungodly, grueling drive that is, and how.
Certainly can be. I mean, I enjoy it because I grew out to my tunes.
Nice.
And I was telling
In your yellow Jeep?
Yeah, my yellow Jeep. And do you use Waze, right?
Uh-huh.
So you can change the voice on Waze.
I know.
To the Cookie Monster.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do that.
It says, like, do you want to drive with Sesame Street and Friends? And I said, Yes.
Oh, I want
And
to do
next thing
that
I know,
too.
Cookie Monster's talking to me
Because
and asking me
honestly, the lady gets bitchy. And I kind of feel like if
She's bitchy.
if I wanted someone to nag me, I'd have a wife. There's a there's a reason why. And if I wanted and the guy is just really exasperated all the time. It's like if I wanted a backseat driver, I'd have a husband. So it's yeah. So Cookie Monster I could groove with.
I never tried the guy. I didn't know I could have a guy.
Yeah, there's a kind of an exasperated gay guy.
Hey, did you share the
I'm doing it right
Facebook
now.
Live? Oh, you are.
I'm not doing it right now. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Do you want me to? Okay, so we're gonna get Jennifer on the phone in just seconds, but first we're gonna make sure that we tag Miss Rebecca so that because she needs her Facebook link. While I do that really quick, sweetheart, why don't you tell everybody about your upcoming event that we've been running your ads here on the show?
Oh yeah, have you been running that ad?
Of
Thank
course,
you.
yes.
So yeah, I'm taking a group, and hopefully you are going to join us because it's going to be a wonderful journey to Teotihuacan, Mexico, and the journey is called the Shameless Heart, and it's really all about setting your heart free from shame so that you can love without limits.
Beautiful. Do you think a
Yeah.
lot of people have shame?
I do.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And,
It's too bad. Shame sucks. No one should have shame. Well, I mean, you should if you do something horrible, but most people carry shame about themselves and they haven't even done anything.
Well, yeah, if they haven't done anything, and even if they have done something, the carrying of the shame isn't the thing that learns you.
Yeah.
It's the learning. It's the taking the lesson.
That's true. But I think if you put kittens in a sack and threw them in the river, maybe you should feel some shame.
Yeah, maybe you should just jump in the river with them.
Okay. She's been here 5 minutes and the Scorpio has already recommended death. You should just die. Was that the tail? Was that the stinger tail? Like a little mini Scorpio tail? Honey, I grew inside of one of you. I have nothing but admiration. I always defer to my Scorpios. Usually I'm deferring to you.
Yeah, no, my tail is sweet and
That's-
nice.
Up till yeah, to a point. To a point,
I'm
like all
spiritual
Scorpios.
Zen woman.
Yes,
I
yes.
don't-
That's how my mother was. She was like Zen, 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 and you die. And it was like Duck, Duck, Goose. with emotional and spiritual ideology. It was like, oh, I love this one. I love this one. That one should be dead. I love this one. I love this one. There's no in between with my Scorpios, and I love that. So.
Okay, wait, let's see. You tagged me. I see it. Okay.
Okay, here we
We're
go,
gonna
my friend.
add
You're
to
all
my
tagged.
timeline.
Again, 818-437-0886 if you want to get on the air with us. That's 818-437-0886. And we're going to get Jennifer on in just minutes. I just sent her a text so she knows she's up next. We just have to get her in the system. Yeah, I like that so Shameless has kind of become your brand.
Yeah.
A lot of your stuff now has Shameless is surrounding it, the word shameless.
Yeah, it really came out of the chapter that I wrote for that collaborative book, Shamanism in the New Millennium.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, I shared my personal journey of healing from sexual trauma, multiple assaults throughout my life.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really came out of the sharing of that chapter because that was big medicine for me as I was writing it.
Sure.
Despite the fact that I had transcended that shame in so many ways, it's a whole different ball game, putting it in black and white for the whole world to read.
It's hard.
And yeah, and it was just really beautiful that Shameless Feminine is what kind of came out of that. And also that recognition of, as I was retelling my story, how I really, the final key to unlock that door of like setting myself free from that shame and from that pattern of trauma, because that's the shame is what feeds that pattern of trauma.
Yep.
That's kind of the invitation that says, yeah, let's do this one more time. And so, yeah, I the final key was in witnessing the masculine. You know, and we refer to it as masculine guilt, but it's really no different than like the feminine shame that, as a woman and even as a man. I mean, just because you're a man now doesn't mean you weren't a woman the last go round.
Absolutely.
Or you weren't a witch that was burned at the stake, right? Just as much as it doesn't mean that I wasn't the one lighting the match.
Oh.
So, right?
okay.
We carry both of the masculine and the feminine within ourselves. So
We're not saying all men light the matches, just so you know, folks.
Oh, yeah. There were women pointing their finger
Yeah.
too.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Quick, burn her. She's cute and my husband likes her. Well, that's a thing, right?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that.
That's a thing, but that's a thing with some women.
Women are never jealous of me.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Ever.
That's never happened
There
to you
has
before.
never, ever been a
Never.
story made up about me in someone's mind.
Never. Yeah.
Never.
I think that there are just people who you have a repeat pattern. I've talked about this. I did a 4-hour, two back-to-back 2-hour shows last week about narcissism. And, how one of my patterns, like you've had the pattern with sexual trauma, I've had the pattern with spiritual trauma, with, re-encountering the same sort of narcissistic abuser over and over again that wants to eat my life. So I think that we bump up against the same things again and again. They're lessons for this life.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
That's something that you need to watch and something you need to guard against. Jennifer is with us. Jennifer, you're on with us live. It's good to hear your voice. Welcome, my friend.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, how are y'all?
We're wonderful. How are you, sweetheart? How may we help you? Say hi to Rebecca, and how can we help?
I'm good. Hi, Rebecca, and I just want to get a general reading.
Okay. What are you thinking about in your life, sweetie? What's going on? Before I just start throwing stuff at you, is there an area of your life that you'd like to talk about?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay. Somebody in the background says something else. So here's the thing, sweetie. Universe is telling me in such a big way that it's so important for you to realize that you are enough, because you struggle with that, and you struggle with not putting yourself first and not thinking you deserve to be first. So I'm going to ask you a question. What are you doing in your life that's just for you, that just really makes you happy, that really makes your soul sing?
What I'm doing for myself?
Yeah, what do you do that just really makes you happy?
Oh, God.
Because the universe is telling me not enough, sweetheart, not enough stuff. Not
Yeah,
enough.
probably not.
I understand that you have small people, and small people are an obligation, but still, you should be at least, even if you're doing it in your home, doing something that makes your soul sing.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel like you're empowered and like you're special and like you're loved. I feel like you don't have nearly enough of that, babe.
Yeah.
Rebecca?
Oh, the phone's breaking up.
The little small person is really going for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The phone was breaking up. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I just said that you're just, the universe is saying that there is not enough time that you're giving to you, that you don't have enough you time.
Yeah.
And that you're not spending enough time kind of fostering what makes you happy. You're not giving enough time feeding into the happiness of you, that you are more than just a mother, a wife, a friend, a daughter, a sister. You're more than just somebody who takes care of other people. You also have to have your own thing, because I feel like you've been tired and you feel drained. And a lot of that is coming from the fact that you're not fully plugged into your core, because you're not feeding your soul enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
This is all about universe saying, we love you and we want you to love you as much as we love you.
Yeah.
Rebecca?
Yeah, and it's more than just giving yourself the time, although that is a real strong yes.
Sure.
Affirmative, to carve out some time for yourself every day, even if it's just 15 minutes.
Yeah, you can leave. You don't have to leave the house.
That's all it takes, just that 15 minutes that you can grab it. And I understand you can't necessarily schedule that with how your life is right now, but just grab that 15 minutes whenever, wherever you can, and be with yourself. Okay, just be with yourself. Just breathe. Just drop into that beautiful body of yours. place your hand on your heart, that can really help bring your attention and bring your presence back to your body and back to that love within the skin that you're in, right? Because we can be so distracted when we're going all the time. It can be hard to be really present with the body, which is the body is what needs you right now. Okay. That fatigue that you're feeling, it's not just that you're running low on energy. It's that your body is missing you. You've got the empty body blues. Does that make sense? So, right. So you're just in the mind constantly. And that's why you've got that empty body blues, and you got to bring yourself present. Okay. And as I was saying, it's more than just taking the time for yourself. It's about giving yourself permission. Okay. So yes, take the time, grab that time. But I also want you to really reflect on your right to be. Okay. There's a piece of you that isn't quite giving yourself permission to have your voice, to have your opinion, to have your way, to have your day.
Yeah.
Okay. And you deserve it, sweetheart. You deserve it. There's nothing that you need to earn. And that beautiful child of yours, your partner, they will be better off with you being fully present with yourself. They will be better off hearing that beautiful voice of yours and feeling that love that you are come through it. If you constantly give yourself away, at some point there's going to be nothing left.
Yeah, you feel really tapped out, sweetheart. You feel like you're just not sure what to do next with yourself, and you're just tired. And I just want you to, and it's one of those things that it's not just sleeping won't fix it, because it's a spiritual rejuvenation that needs to happen. It's an emotional rejuvenation. I mean, even just like, finding something you like to watch on YouTube, like, a meditation thing that you listen to or watch, or a speaker that you like, or podcasts, or, find a book, or something online that you like, or participate in a chat room, something that just makes you feel like you're part of something that you can connect to, that connects you better to you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
and then,
it does.
And then you're going to start to feel so much better, sweetheart. You are going to be blown away by how instantly you start feeling better. If, like Rebecca said, just spend 15 minutes with yourself. And it's going to make all the difference in the world, sweetheart.
Okay.
Okay? And we love you, and we're so glad that you called, and we want to know what's going on with you. So stay in touch and keep us posted. And you're wonderful. So you remember that you're wonderful. All we want is for the universe, for you to see yourself the way that the universe sees you, because that's such an important thing. Right, Rebecca?
Absolutely.
We've all been through that. I mean, the universe is easy love. That's an easy one. It's the hard one is getting you to love yourself. Because, it's the universe. So I think I put the link up pretty much everywhere now. I've got some more places I'm going to hit. But if you're just seeing this now and you want to get on the air with us, just send me a text, 818-437-0886. That's 818-437-0886. And we're going to get you up with us. So Alicia is up next, and then Sam, and then looks like Vicky. So if you're listening, that's the order right now. Sometimes the order changes a little bit depending on who's available, who's not available, who's available. But we're going to get Alicia on with us now, and Rebecca's going to play on her phone because now she's sharing the link. We're doing like 90 things here, people, so bear with us. I'm doing like 75 things at once, and we have to get the link out there so everybody can be reached. So, why is this not coming up in my system?
Yeah, I'm just climbing on here because I realized I told people, well, we can't see the things, that don't talk to me on Facebook.
Oh, I know. I tell
But
people
I
the same
realized
thing.
I can. can look at my phone.
Oh yeah, you can. I can't. I can pretty much handle text messages, and that's it. So you can't really email me. You
But
can't.
it doesn't mean I'm going to take your question live on air if you message here.
No,
Don't
you have to
assume
do it
that.
here so you can get in the
You
queue.
have to go through the proper channels.
I love you. I love how disciplined you are. For a rebel, you're very disciplined.
Yeah, follow my rules. I am not going to follow yours, but you better follow
Actually,
mine.
you're really good at following mine. You're actually
I
quite
am.
lovely
I'm
at
a
that.
very good girl, other than being late.
Oh, that's okay. You can be late. I mean,
But you know what? I was going to be 10 minutes early.
oh,
This
see?
is the thing. I was going to be.
Oh,
A
yeah.
whole 10 minutes.
I did not have Alicia in our system.
Oh.
So I went to a birthday party for one of our light workers, Angelica Perman, on Saturday night, and it was in Malibu. So it was a Saturday evening. So I was at the Pride Festival service at my church at MCC, Founders MCC, and then I drove up to the valley and went to shop for crystals and look at things that are beautiful and metaphysical. And then I thought, oh, I'll just hop over to Malibu. So I took Kanan up and I'd never taken Kanan over before.
You were right near me.
And then I went up to past Point Doom to where they are. And then I drove back to Sunset and took Sunset over. I probably passed right by you.
Probably.
And I was like, so at night, I mean, there's almost no one in Malibu now. I think the fire scared everyone away and no one lives in Malibu.
Oh, really?
There's no traffic. There was no one there. I'm on PCH and I can't see a car in either direction. But still, it took me 45 minutes to get home to Sherman Oaks. And I'm like, man, Malibu's out there. First of all, Malibu's like 30 miles long. It goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It's a big city.
Yeah.
It's like 3 inches wide.
So you came all the way back and then took Sunset.
Took Sunset, yeah. Because you know what? I didn't feel right about taking Canaan or Malibu Canyon at night. I've heard Malibu Canyon's better lit. I've never taken that. Canaan, I mean, it's beautiful during the day, but I don't think it's necessarily what you want to take at night. You're laughing because you're like Idaho girl. You're like, are you kidding me? It was a beautiful drive during the day. But
I love that drive.
do you like it at night?
I haven't done it at night yet.
I think it'd be a little scary at night.
But when I go up to Betsy's, I go to Malibu Canyon.
I haven't taken Malibu Canyon yet. I way prefer it to Topanga because Topanga's super twisty.
Yeah.
But I love taking Sunset home. I love the Sunset ride through Brentwood. Yeah, I'm a city girl. I like there to be stuff. I can't help it. I'm a city girl. All right, Alicia, you're on the phone with us. Welcome to the show, my friend. How may we help you? Hi.
Hi. So I have a lot of changes in my life lately, and I was recently working for a nonprofit, and I feel like it kind of showed me my calling in life, like what I want to do.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
I've recently signed up for college. I'm waiting for a scholarship to come through, and I was just kind of wondering if you could see or hear anything about it, if this is the right direction that I'm headed with my life.
Absolutely, sweetheart. Man, the minute you said you work for a nonprofit, I thought, well, now you're on the right road. Absolutely
Right.
In the right place, sweetheart. And that really sang to your soul, right?
Oh, it did. It did. Every day I woke up and I was so excited to go to work, and I loved what I was doing, and it was an amazing experience.
I love that story. That's so beautiful. Yeah, sweetie, that's exactly where you're supposed to be. I mean, in service. You don't do well anymore. Yeah. You've had this transition that you've moved through, right, on a path of enlightenment and involvement. And now you've gotten to a place where if you're not in service, it feels weird. Or even, Alicia, if you're around people who don't understand service, it's almost like oil and water, or you're like, are these actually the same species as me? Like, you just don't understand now stuff that's all self-motivated, self-centered, myopic. It's just not your thing anymore. You've become somebody who's about the world.
That's amazing to hear, because that's really how I've been feeling. And I don't know, I guess I've just been doubting myself, and I'm not sure why. And this confirmation is truly amazing right now. I really appreciate
it. It's such an important thing for you. And even at some point, I feel like you're going to get so involved in a nonprofit that you're either going to be somebody who founds or co-founds one, or you're going to work on a corporate level, like way high up at a nonprofit. Like it is really sit on the board of directors for nonprofits. Like it is really going to be your life.
That's my goal, really, truly, is to, you know, be high up in, you know, a nonprofit or to start one. That's really amazing. You just said that.
Honey, I can feel your soul, and the universe is saying, yay, yay. They've got like little universe pom-poms made out of crystals. And they're like, you, rah, rah, rah. Absolutely thrilled. Rebecca?
Yeah, well, it's a resounding yes, uninterrupted, undoubting, resounding yes for you to keep going in this direction. And what I'm called to share with you is that at some point there may be some doubt within you around finances. And I just want you to remember this feeling that you have now and that you have had since you began this work, that the more you serve, the more you receive, right? That there's just been this flow of abundance that has come into your life. And it's not just that spiritual abundance of that sense of giving and loving. There's financial abundance, right? Like when you need it, there it is, right?
Yeah.
So I just remember that. Even write it down, like write a little letter to yourself, your dear future self, you know, because there is going to be a moment where you're in more of a place of need financially, and you're just going to go into that old pattern, that old habit of, you know, oops, uh-oh, you know what I mean? Like, uh-oh. So write this letter to yourself to remind yourself of this true abundance, not just the spiritual abundance, but the material abundance that is coming, that you have this evidence right now. You know, this isn't just blind faith that like, oh yeah, if I take care of others, God will take care of me, right? No, this is direct evidence, direct experience that you have right now. So write that letter to yourself, put it in writing so that you can read it down the road when you have that that time of doubt. And it will really help you, because your faith is part of this. It's not just the service that serves you back. It's also just that faith that you have right now, right, is so hugely abundant and becomes a magnet, right? So, yeah.
First time I've really experienced that in my life. I've really been trying to be more aware of, you know, the aura, the vibes, my thoughts that I'm putting into the universe.
Yeah.
I've never been so aware of it as I have now, and it really has changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, sweetheart. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so proud of you. And I also feel like you, you know, one of the things that sort of that Rebecca touched on is you can be somebody who doubts, and mostly you doubt you. And so you have to sort of keep giving yourself a pep talk to stay on the path, because even sometimes when things are going too well, you think like, is this where I'm really supposed to be? Is this going to fall apart? Is this all going to go to hell? So, you know, you need to sort of push those thoughts out of your head, sweetheart, and really start focusing on what's good for you, you know, and trust, just believe and trust that this is what's good for you. So, you know, you're in good shape, my friend. You're in fantastic shape.
Yay.
We love you, and we want to hear how you're doing. Stay in touch and let us know. So why Mexico?
Wow.
Rebecca?
Yeah, I've been going there since I was a kid.
I know. Tell people
Yeah,
a little bit of the history, because my ice pack fell off and I need to adjust it.
Oh.
I make a fancy reason like, no, well, I do something very important technically here. No, I'm going to pick up my ice pack and strap it back to my leg.
Yeah, so the place that we go is called Teotihuacan.
With this.
What is that?
It's my strap on. It's how I strap ice packs to my leg.
You need a Velcro strap, my dear.
It has a Velcro strap.
Oh, it does. Oh, good.
See?
Oh, well, that's a sad-looking Velcro strap. No
Well,
wonder
honey,
it fell off.
I use it a lot. It's really good.
I think
it's
time.
pliable.
I think it's time for another.
It's not sad. It's just been
sad.
around my
It's
leg.
sad. I can
so
hear
it's
it
malformed. It's weeping because it's been tied to my knee for the last 3 hours. It's like, God, somebody give me a break with this woman. I'm not supposed to be on duty all the time. Okay. So, is there a spiritual centeredness that you get from Mexico that you only get from this particular place?
Yeah, it's so special. This place, the name is Teotihuacan. It translates to the place where human becomes God. And it really is a map for your spiritual transformation. It's incredible. Several different pyramids on site with all these different sacred temples and sites and grounds. And, there's ones outside of the quote unquote city where all the, people go in there. They still are actively praying and worshiping there. And that's what I love about it. It's so alive. The temples and the energy, the devotion is still alive there versus like I've been to the pyramids in Egypt and it was just very it just wasn't quite there. It wasn't alive. I don't want to say it was dead because it wasn't dead. It was there.
Yeah.
You really, really had to reach for it. You really, really had to look for it.
For the Egyptian pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, the devotion isn't there as much, at least on site. It's really become kind of more commercialized.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard, right?
I found it in some of the lesser known temples and pyramids that we went to. Like the Red Pyramid was really incredible.
It's beautiful. I find that in some of the paranormal sites that everybody goes and investigated, places that were very active with spirits. I think when there's too many people, the spirits leave. I think they're sort of like, you know what?
Getting crowded.
Or they go hide in the back and they
like
just won't play.
They're like me.
Exactly.
Anyway.
They hide in the cave like a Scorpio. They go backwards like the scorpion. But my mom was like that too. She was very much, she felt better, I think, standing back a little bit from it all than being right in the spotlight of it all. And I think a lot of spirits, they're there for a reason. They have decided not to cross for a reason. So when there's a lot of human energy and cameras and tape recorders in an area, I think they're just like, oh, okay, we're just not going to play this haunting game anymore. And they just go back into the walls. So maybe it's the same thing with the pyramids. Maybe a lot of that energy. Well,
and I really feel that it's just that people are still going there to pray. So the prayers, those are alive. Every thought that we have, every intent that we have, whether it's spoken out loud or not, is alive. It's energy that exists. And so we fill our home with it. We fill our car with it. We fill the world with it. And these temples have been receiving these prayers for centuries. And so, they're still actively receiving those. So that's why I feel like it's so, so alive, because there are people there and there are plenty of cameras and video cameras and all of that, but it's just still very alive. It hasn't been deadened.
Yeah, that's
in
beautiful.
any way. So yeah, I love it. It's a really special place. So, and I've been going there since I was 21.
Wow.
Yeah, with Miguel, Madre Sarita's son, Miguel, who wrote the 4 Agreements. So yeah, I've been going with him. And actually, I just put an article up on my Instagram and Facebook. It's this article that was written back in 2004. It was in the San Diego Reader by this lovely man, Jim Morris. And it's just his experience of Teotihuacan, a journey through Teotihuacan. And I happened to be his guide because, Miguel's trips were huge, not like mine. Mine are nice and intimate. Miguel's trips were like 150 people. And then he would divide them into smaller groups.
They were a mass migration.
Yeah, and throw these poor people at us. You know what I mean? So I happened to be this guy's guide.
That's awesome.
And so it's great. The article talks a little bit about his experience in Teo. He also does an interview with Miguel and with Miguel's son, Don Jose Ruiz, and his experience of me.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Look at you, shamanic rock star.
Yeah, not exactly.
No,
I'm a dork. You should have heard me trying to impersonate Cookie Monster in my car ride. I couldn't do it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my IG livers, they could testify to that.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, we got Kimberly with us. I can't wait to switch ways over to Cookie Monster because I'm so done with that lady.
Oh, it's good.
She gets mad.
Except you'll be craving cookies. That's the only downside.
Well, so what else is new? Kimberly, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I've been waiting to talk to you for so long.
Oh, I'm so glad, sweetheart. Welcome to the show. Say hi to Rebecca, and how may we help you, love? I'm so glad we got you.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
Hi, love.
I I've been following your show, and there's so many things that you do that are so spot on. And so I felt like you could probably kind of help me in this very odd situation that I'm in.
Sure.
I've been crazy head over heels in love with somebody for
Okay.
6 years.
Okay.
And it's been a up and down, off and on kind of thing. And he's now trying to show me more. And I don't know if it's real or if he's just feeling like, oh, well, she's been the one who's been there for me all along, and I should just probably settle. And I don't know. I can't determine like how I feel.
Okay. So tell me really quick, sweetheart, what you identify as showing you more.
Like being more consistent and like inviting me over, inviting me to do stuff, hanging out with my family, talking to my family, when before that was a non-existent relationship.
Okay. Okay.
And he talks about like a future, but then there's other things too that he does that he kind of slides back, where like at one point he'll talk about us having a future and getting married and living together, and then he'll talk about, well, I'm just going to get a roommate. And I'm like, okay, we had a game plan here. So I don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah, he's desperately afraid of intimacy and commitment, and is not really good with the game plan. So I feel like the more you back off, the more he comes forward. But then if you try to meet him where he's at, then he'll run away again. And you have to, he's like a feral cat on the porch that you have to try to lure in with a dish of milk. But you can't ever just pick him up and take him in the house, or he'll scratch your face off and run away. And then you won't see him for a week.
Oh my.
So, you have because he's so scared to be out of control, sweetheart. He needs to energetically lead the entire path. And if that's what you want, sweetheart, I'm here only to love and support you. But I feel like there's going to come a time where that level of control freakedness that he has is going to begin to weigh on you. And I think it's starting to happen now that he's coming around more. I think you're finding that maybe you're not as over the moon about him doing that as you thought you were going to be.
I think so. I think it's because we've gone through so many things, and then he always goes, well, you always think about what happened before, and that's not what's happening, but I can't just get over everything that's always happened before. I'm always afraid they're going to happen again.
Of course
So I'm
not.
very guarded. Like, I don't keep anything at his house, and I don't stay over kind of stuff.
Right. Well, good. I think you should be your own person and be independent. I think that the problem with somebody who's that scared and that fearful of commitment, and we've all been involved in that person. Rebecca's been involved with that person. I've been involved with that person. Everybody listening right now, everybody in our chat room, all of you have at one point been involved with that person. And the problem is that you get exhausted from chasing, because there's never anything that fills you up. So you have to always get filled up somewhere else spiritually, so that you can then keep pouring energy into him, hoping that he'll return something. And when it goes on as long as this has with the two of you, honey, it just gets tiring. You're just tired. And I don't blame you. So
I feel like being in my 40s, it's just, I feel like I want to settle down and I want to have a future with somebody, and I feel like I'm kind of begging it to happen, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, I agree. And while you're trying to beg it to happen, other things that might be coming in, other growth experiences, new tribal members, somebody else that would love you, they're not coming in because you're putting so much of your energy and focus into this one person. Does that make sense? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying don't do it at the expense of you taking care of you, love. That you need to start taking care of you.
I completely agree.
Rebecca?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
Finish your thought.
Yeah.
No, I'm just grateful that, like, I got to talk to you about it, because I was so wishy-washy and, like, on the fence about things because I don't know, but I needed somebody to tell me, if you're draining yourself, then it's not going to work. Yeah.
Well, and it's not that it's not going to work. It's just, what is the definition, love, of working? I mean, you can make something work, You can say, I have a cat, and it comes on the porch every week, and this is my cat. Or you can say, I want a cat that I can bring in the house, and it will actually sleep in my bed and become part of the family. If you stop feeding the cat, it'll start coming around more, because it's like, hey, bitch, where's my milk? But but is it ever really going to be, and do you want it to always be that struggle with the semi-feral cat, or do you want to just give it up and go find a cat that wants a home and really wants to live with you? I mean, I think you can make this work, and you can even wrangle him into a relationship, but do you want to have to keep putting so much of the percentage of the energy into it in order to just get him to do little things like be nice to your family?
Right.
So and it's your choice, sweetheart. I'm making no judgment on it. I have been involved with that person. I've put most of the energy in. I've been in relationships where I've paid for everything. I've been in relationships where I took everybody's crap. I've been in more than one relationship where I've been cheated on and I stayed. I'm not here to say, oh, I'd never do that, because trust me, I've done it all. I will never do that again, but I have done it all. And like you said, it was when I got into my 40s and being compromising in a relationship almost killed me, literally. Soul death, real death, a breakdown. I thought, you know what? There's no one in the world that is worth doing this anymore. And I got to that place, but you know what? I know a lot of people that never get to that place, and that's okay. I mean, you guys have a real strong spiritual tie, and I know you can feel it all the time. But just because you have
felt that way for a very long time.
Yeah, just because you have a soul tie with somebody, okay, that's great. There it is, and it exists, and it's never really going to go away. Now, period, next paragraph. What are you going to do with it? You don't necessarily have to be in a committed relationship with someone just because you have a soul tie with them. I have soul ties with quite a few people I know, and I can feel the ties, and I look at them and I think, yeah, you know what? If we really work to make this work, I could be in a relationship with you. But then you have to say, well, how hard do you want it to be? I've just gotten to the point now that I've turned 50 that I just believe it doesn't have to be that hard. And in not allowing it to be that hard anymore, I've released so much of my angst and so much of my shame about not being enough to be able to make the relationship work, when the truth was maybe it's just not supposed to be that hard. So it's just something to think about, sweetheart. He's not going anywhere right now. You're not going anywhere right now. This is not a decision that has to be made tomorrow. It's just something for you to think about so that you feel better about yourself and you start to grow within yourself. Sorry, I'm talking to Rebecca. I'm talking too much.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So what's most important, sweetheart, is I want to honor you. I want to honor you right now. I want to honor your love, the generosity of your love.
Yes.
Your you are unconditional in your loving. In spite of that fear, how many times have you forgiven and hit that reset button?
Right.
And you do it again and again and again, and it's a beautiful, beautiful act of love. And so I just want to honor you in that. And in that honoring, ensure that you never stop loving. Okay? It's not, there's this thing, women who love too much, right? That's not a problem, okay?
No.
Your love is not the problem. Your forgiveness is not the problem, okay? It's recognizing when the light of that love, okay, there's a shift that happens, right, where we feel really generous in our love, right? Like the moon, we're full of that light of our love. We're just full, and it feels good to share that light, and it feels natural, and it's just oozing out of us, that generosity, okay? And then there's a shift that happens, right, naturally with the moon. When the sun turns its light away from her, what happens? She starts to wane, right? She's not sharing that light. She's not giving that light. But the light hasn't really gone anywhere. She's still holding that. She's still that same vessel, right? Just as you are, okay? That love doesn't have to change. Don't turn off what I call to my students is the love valve. Don't turn off the love valve, okay? You can keep loving. It's just how you are giving yourself of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Give yourself permission to I can be unconditional in my love. It doesn't mean that I am unconditional in my presence. Do you see the difference? Doesn't mean I'm unconditional in how I give of myself and my time and my attention. You see? Let him turn his light back to you, and then you'll feel again naturally that generosity of your light return. That generosity of your love return. honor that. Like,
I know, because
you have
I
noticed
catch
this.
myself.
Yeah. You have
Yeah,
noticed
I
this.
catch
You've just
myself
been
saying all the time.
Go ahead.
No, I just catch myself saying all the time that I give and I try and I do so much that I just always say, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. When I know I'm not really done, I
No.
just get very frustrated and
It's
I want to
okay.
give up.
You can be frustrated. It's
Right.
all right, sweetheart. You're allowed that. You need to stop. Like I said, because we talked about shame earlier, you need to stop wrapping so much shame around the situation because you're doing everything that you can. You can't blame yourself because somebody else is only ready to meet you at a certain place.
Well, and there's a moment before you get to that point of like, I'm done, right? Of utter exhaustion, like I am tapped and I want to tap out, right? Before you get to that
Right.
point, there's the shift to the waning. And that's what I want you to notice is when you shift from the generosity, from the complete generosity of giving of yourself, and suddenly there's less of a desire to do that. Okay, it can be subtle, it can be obvious, but it's not to that point of like, that's it, I'm done, jerk, right? And you turn off the love valve. No, there's a moment before that, and it's not a diminishing of the love coming out of you. It really is just how you are giving of your presence. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does.
So try and catch that moment before you get to the exhaustion point. Okay. Start to notice your own waxing and waning. Okay. Start to notice that and just take this this message with you. This was a wonderful teaching by a dear friend of mine when I was having a really hard time letting go of a love of mine. And all he told me was, your love is unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
Your presence is not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So that you can move
Perfectly said.
physically away from him. You can stop doing, you can stop calling, you can stop even responding to his texts if you want to. Your presence doesn't have to be unconditional. And yet your love can continue. It doesn't mean that you're not being loving. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
that's part
I
of the reason why
completely-
you keep coming back, because you feel that obligatory kind of love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
When it's a real soul tie, like I said earlier, the love doesn't necessarily go away. You just learn how to put it in a different place and what to do with it.
And the truth is, sweetheart, he wants to want it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even that he wants to want it. He wants it. He wants that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's, as Sheena said, he's just afraid.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't trust himself. He doesn't trust love. He doesn't trust women. Okay? He just has his own
Is he ever
wounds.
going to?
Sure, if he keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But just recognize that sometimes you're going to bump up against his wounds and it's not personal.
Yep.
It's not personal. It's not a comment on your love and how good your love is or how your love isn't good enough. Okay, it's up to him to heal it, not you. You can't do it for him.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it for him. And when you bump up against the wound, that's the time to go, oh, okay, well, my love is unconditional. My presence is not,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if he's reaching
get
out
it.
for an embrace, if he's ready to receive some love into that wound, then by all means.
Yeah.
But if you bump up against that wound and you feel him recoil, then that's the time where you take your presence elsewhere.
Yes. Exactly.
And the key in that presence is that you never leave yourself, ever.
Absolutely. You're going to be all right, sweetheart. We love you.
Love you.
Keep us posted. Let us know how it's going for you. We want to hear all about it. And we're thinking of you, and our thoughts are with you always, sweetheart. I know this is a hard thing and a hard time, and if we can be of any help, please let us know. You've got my information. You've got my email. You've got my phone. Sheena@IamRaisingYourVibration.com. That's my email. 818-437-0886. That's my phone. Now you all have all my stuff. And with that, we're going to get Karina on. That was beautiful, Rebecca. Beautiful. Beautiful advice. I mean, you always give beautiful advice, but that was particularly beautiful advice. I love that. That's why it always makes me feel good to be around you. I'm getting recharged right now just being around Rebecca, because that's how I recharge. I have other light workers come in and unite with me. So Karina's coming on. Karina, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you. How are you?
Wonderful. It's good to hear from you. Well, say hi to Rebecca, and how may we help you, sweetheart?
Hello, Rebecca.
Hello, Karina. I love your name. It's one of my favorite names.
Oh,
on the
thank
planet.
you. Thank you.
Karina,
Thank you. Very much
Karina.
appreciated. Yeah, you popped up in my thread, and here I am.
Oh, I love that. I love that I popped up.
Yay.
I love that we just popped up in
Yeah.
your thread.
I love it. Yeah, it's a synchronicity. So, and here I am speaking with you. So I'm just really grateful. And yeah. So let's see. A question I would have. I've been on this spiritual path for a very long time.
Beautiful.
And so evolving, expanding, awakening time and time again, and, just really exploring the depths of myself, and coming to a period now that feeling a bit isolated again. And, when you go through periods of this, it can be isolating, and really wanting to connect deeper with people on a very deep level. And I've been channeling this book for the last month and a half, and it's been quite the process. And I've been channeled for a very long time, and it's allowing me to go deeper. But within that depth, I'm feeling a bit isolated. So just wanted to see, what would come up based on that.
Well, I think, sweetheart, I'm just jumping in again. This is Sheena Jumps In Day.
No, but it works that way. It works
I
out.
think that whenever you go to a new level of depth, there are times where you feel alone. Because when you're really in that space, honey, when you're really in that zone, you're not alone because you're deeply committed right now to spirit. You in relationship are having a real thing right now. But I think when we're in those places where we're so deeply connected to spirit, sometimes we're not as connected to others because, one, there's not as much time, and two, spirit can be a very all-encompassing lover, and three, sometimes people just can't go that deep. When you're in a super deep place, you lose a lot of people because a lot of people don't want to go that deep. Can't or won't. So I think it's normal when you're channeling that sometimes you feel lonely. But know that universe has your back, sweetie, and you're not lonely, and they very much want you to continue with this book and continue with this process. And that feeling of being lonely starved for human comfort, you'll be back in the world as soon as you're done with the book, or if you take a little break from the book to just have some people time. And then come back. But you're forever going to be changed by the channeling journey of this book. And part of that depth that you've now felt, you're going to crave from other people. Because once you've felt something, it's hard. It's like why I always seem to connect with people that have had near-death experiences. Because once you've felt what it feels like to go home, you are looking for other people who've had that same experience, It's why people who are cancer survivors congregate together. And it's why, anybody, when you've endured the same things, you connect with those people. So I do think that you're finding in this journey, love, that there are some people that have left your life, or as I like to say, been pushed a little farther out of the layers of your onion because you've changed, and you don't understand them as well. They don't understand you as well. Sometimes a friendship is two parallel lanes in a road. Sometimes the lanes go out in different directions and come back together. So I think that's a lot of what you're feeling in regards to feeling lonely too, sweetie. You're feeling that you've left some people along the way as you've evolved so quickly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
That's hard. I mean, I've gone through that. I've gone through that many times in my life, but I have super gone through it since my mother died, because it really made me finally prioritize what my priorities were outside of her, because she was such a priority, and how I wanted to live the rest of my life in her honor. And I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, that's real serious and stupid." But, they just couldn't go to those places with me. So they left me, I left them, somebody left somebody, everyone's on their path. And it's hard. And I'm not I have terrible separation anxiety. I'm horrible about letting things go. So, but I think you're just feeling that. You're feeling a little bit like you're just different from everybody else, like you're an alien.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just because of how
Yeah.
you've grown and changed through this channeling experience. Rebecca?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to feel less alone the moment you trust right where you're at, that you trust this as part of I'm going to call it like the quickening, because there's something being birthed. It's not just a deepening, it's a quickening of life within you. And so your life wants you to trust this aloneness, because you're not actually alone. There is this life within you that is being birthed, and there are all of those energies, those elementals coming through you, right, that have come together to lend their voices, right, to this book. And what I'll share with you is, there's, and it's just like a nice little reminder, is that you're in the the all oneness of the alone. That there's really just one letter between alone and all one. And we do generally have to kind of step off into that place of feeling alone, and we feel that devastatingly alone before we really step into that all oneness. And this is part of the process for you, because it's integral to what you're birthing right now, that you connect to that all oneness. So this is part of the process, this feeling alone. Pay attention, learn from it, watch yourself step through the alone into the all one. Watch yourself do it. It's going to happen very soon. It's been happening in little moments, and you kind of step through and you step back and you step through and then you step back. Okay. But you need to really watch it and allow yourself to step all the way through. It's okay. You'll come back and be able to re-engage again. Okay. Trust me, I'm like the biggest alien of them all. And
I'm the second biggest alien of them all then.
And like there was a time where even like language, just like it didn't make sense. Like I knew what they were saying, like there was words coming out of their mouth and words coming out of my mouth, but nothing made sense. The world didn't make sense. I was in the upside down world.
The upside down from Stranger Things?
Yeah. That's what it felt like in some ways, but not terrifying. It was just, I was just, kind of like Charlie Brown, where everyone's like, wah, 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 wah,
I
wah.
always feel like that. Does that go away?
It does. I mean, it comes back too, but you find your way back in, and you'll find your way and how to re-engage, and you'll find your tribe.
Yeah.
You will. And that's going to.
so important.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
So important.
Yes. You're going to, as you accept letting some of these folks go, sweetheart, Karina, that more than the right folks are going to come in, but you've got to make some room for them. So you have to let some folks go with love, and they might just be temporarily. They might go do their growth and come back. But in the meantime, you have to let them do their thing, because yeah,
and recognize that craving for the tribe, okay, that's like your wolf, right? That's your animal, okay? That's your animal craving that pack, right? And it's also your soul, right? You're like, where are all my soul ties, as Sheena calls them, soul ties? Where's my soul tribe? That exists beyond the animal, right? But the one that is really kind of feeling that desperation is that animal. It's your wolf, and it's craving that pack, and it's not going to get it right now. Okay, it's just not. It's not going to get it right now. Not in any satiating way, or not in any way that would actually serve you and this process that you're in. So you need to have a conversation with your wolf. Let it know, okay? Because what the wolf does have is you. Okay, and you can be there for your body, right? Translation, your wolf, your animal is your body, okay? You can be there for your body. You can offer it that daily experience of life, that engagement with life. And if you're not able to engage with humans, with human life forms, with human life forms, I highly recommend just being with the mother, being with the earth. Okay. There's so much energy available to you, and that is like closer to your kind right now than most humans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So be with Mother Earth. You will find that your wolf, your animal, is fed by that connection with the earth, that it's fed by, like, literally take your dog for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go for a walk, move your body when you're feeling that, like, that desperation, that craving for human touch. You know, be there for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, without getting too sexy, touch yourself, sweetheart. You know,
Wow.
give it to yourself. Give yourself
When
a
I
hug.
think about you.
I touch myself. Yeah.
The Scorpio has now told everyone to touch themselves and die. Just so everyone, so everyone's up to date on the Scorpio status for this show.
You got the order wrong.
Oh.
You got to die, and then you.
No, it's you touch yourself, you die, touch yourself. That's my mother's duck, goose.
Duck, goose.
Oh my goodness. Sweetheart, you're going to be just fine, Karina. Please let us know how it's going and how you're doing, and we care about you, and we only want the best for you, sweetheart. So please keep us posted, because you're on a beautiful journey, honey. Enjoy it. I don't want you to die of the shock, but we've got a guy next. I know. Rebecca loves men. She loves when men call. Don't you know?
do.
Don't men get to go to on your journey for like $3.20? Men get in free.
No, there's no false advertising here. $3.20. No, but they do get $300 off.
Really? Just for being men?
Yeah. The mother told me to, so. But it's okay. Sisters get $150 off if they bring a
Oh,
sister.
dear God.
Uh-huh.
It's fantastic. Somewhere there are
I know.
feminists watching going, oh, Christ.
I know, and I gave it like on Mother's Day. I announced that discount too.
I know you were here.
Yeah.
I know.
I was like, yeah, Mother's Day, I'm giving the men $300
Wow.
off my
Every
trip.
time you say that, 200 women burn their bras. I just want you to know.
Good.
Just because. You're an interesting girl. That's why I keep having you back again and again and again.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Sam. We're coming for you, baby. We're going to get Sam on right now. Still have this thing, right? I was saying before you got here, I had during Haunted Playground today, I had somebody call up who really was having trouble finding her voice. And both, so I got this, Patty got running eyes. We were both like, ugh, and it just kind of seems to not have gone away. Welcome to the show, Sam. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you very much.
It's good to hear your voice, my friend. How say hi to Rebecca, and how may we help you?
Hello, Sam.
Yes, hello.
What can we do for you, my friend?
You said that you can have a reading.
Absolutely, you can have a reading. Do you have questions for us? Is there an area of your life you'd like to know about?
I'd like to know what's going on with somebody that left me recently, a lady.
Oh, somebody that what, sweetie? You cut out on us. Somebody that what?
Left.
She left me. She
Oh,
left
sweetie.
One day and disappeared. And about 6 weeks ago, and I'm kind of wondering whatever happened to her, or where is she, or is she okay? I don't know. I don't have a clue. I think she's out of the country, but I'm not sure about that.
I agree. Is she okay is kind of a loaded question. I mean, she's not deceased and she's not dying, but clearly she's got some issues, right? And I think you saw a lot of those issues before she left.
No, I did not touch them.
Really? You didn't see any of that?
No, she was just ill. She was sick, so I took her to the doctor, and then not favorably sick, just sick, woman's type of thing. Women. And then one day I came to my home 6 weeks ago, and all of her things were gone, and she disappeared. And she said that she's sick of the United States and wants to go back to where she's from. And I don't know whether she ever went there, or is she there? Or
yeah, she's there. Yeah, she's back where she came from. She's there.
Why would you say that?
I'm sorry?
Why would you say that?
Because I can feel her there, because that's what I do. Yeah, that's where she is. I mean, I think she still has her female problems, but I don't think that they're in any way life-threatening or anything. I think she just, I think something in her, a switch just flipped.
What happened with her?
Like a switch flipped. You know, some people have inside of them like a switch that gets flipped. Yes. And when that switch gets flipped, they bolt. Sometimes you can see somebody and then a switch flips and they never talk to you again. It's a thing inside of someone from a usually in response to some kind of trauma they've had when they were younger. I had a friend once. We went to go to an event. We were at a hotel. We're waiting for the valet. It was both our birthdays, almost. We were like 2 days apart. We had this big talk about how neither one of us had a sister and always wanted one, and now we would be that for each other. I got in my car. She got in her car. Never again, nothing.
Yeah, but this was a 2-year relationship.
Of course. Of course. Sweetie,
my relationship was 2 years.
I know.
And we didn't even have any big fights or anything. So that's what...
I know, it's so hard.
And she never contacted me again. She just wrote me an email that she wants to go back to her country and things like that.
Yeah.
The question is, of course, is it possible to turn the... She's not talking to me at this point.
Right.
But is there any way to flip the switch back, or is it that issue, or what do you think?
Well, there's always a chance the switch will flip back, because if it flips one way, it can flip back. And I know how much you care about her. I know it's hard when you care about someone and there's no closure, there's no resolution, because they're just one day they're just gone. I mean, you've tried to contact her and she just doesn't return anything?
Exactly.
Yeah, I would stop trying for a while. Let her come to you. I would leave it alone for a little while. Maybe say intentions or prayers that you would like for her to get back in touch with you at some point, but not actually physically contact her, and let her figure out whatever she's running from right now. And perhaps when she gets that sorted out, the switch will flip back and she'll come back. But then again, sweetie, and I would be remiss not to say this, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be with somebody who would just one day pack up all their stuff and go while you're out of the house? Because that's a lot, and you're a nice man and you deserve better than that. You're a caring person. And I know you're worried about her, and I get that you are. I mean, clearly she has some stuff, but it's more emotional than it is physical at this point. She never told you that she didn't like living here?
The same after a country, basically Russia.
Yeah.
Next to Russia, I won't go to a specific country, but it's one of the Russian, countries.
Sure.
And by December, which was 2 months later, she said that she wants to go back to her country. So I told her, please don't go.
Right.
And then suddenly, at the end of April, which is 4 months later, now, meanwhile, she got a really good job, and she got really sorted in every way possible. So her life was comfortable, She had no worries of any kind, and she had a good job as well. And then one day, as I said, in 26th of April, she just dissipated.
Oh, honey.
So I don't. And she wrote a letter that she wants to go back to her country, and that's it. From then on, no trace, nothing.
I'm so sorry, Rebecca.
Yeah. Sweetheart, I feel you. I feel your sorrow. And there's a desperation in that sorrow. And I'm sorry that you're feeling this way. I'm sorry that you're going through this. And what I want to offer you is that there is an opening, like the best opening that you can give for this relationship is letting it go. That's the best opening that you can give it. That's the best chance you can give it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I do recommend just like one more final letter
Mm-hmm.
of goodbye that is like a goodbye, but not a goodbye, like I'm here for you whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, and otherwise, I am moving on. I'm letting go, and I won't reach out to you anymore.
I agree.
And just communicating that out loud, and as out loud as you can get. If that's a letter, that's fine. And
Yeah, but that's closing the door. They say now.
No, it's not closing the door. It's just letting her go and giving her the opportunity to come back around when she's ready.
No. I see.
Because whatever trauma, sweetie, in her triggers this behavior that she does, where she switches the flips the switch and then bolts. It's somebody pursuing her makes the trauma worse.
Right. Before she came from Russia in October, she did write to me that she doesn't want to come because a lot of people from Russia come here and they give up and go back to. So she wrote to me that she doesn't want to come, but then she, like you said, she flipped the switch. She decided to come.
Yeah.
So she has already done that. Well, she changed her mind.
Mm-hmm.
So do I have time for another question? Or that's
Sure.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say about my finances?
It's funny because that's what I was going to bring up. When you first called, that's what I was going to bring up. I just feel like you're at a place in your career where you're just feeling frustrated. And I'm sure that the frustration over this relationship added to that frustration just makes it's frustration compounded on frustration. But I feel like you're just at a place where you're feeling like you're at a kind of a standstill, like you've hit a wall with being able to move past a certain amount of financial gain right now, and projects not coming to fruition, and it's just, you're just in a frustrating place. But the good news is that as Rebecca said, give this relationship a little bit of a birth, the financial situation will get better.
Well, it can get better soon. It can get better in a year, 2 years.
No, it'll get better relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
You send her that letter and let things go, it'll be better by the end of the summer. It'll start to get better.
Yeah, that energy that you've been carrying of
Yes.
lack, right? Because you've been literally missing this woman and reaching for and
Yeah.
wanting.
And even before she left.
Yeah, even before she left, that energy of desperation is actually what is repelling right now the abundance that you seek, whether that's this relationship or the financial abundance. So that's why it really truly is the medicine that will deliver the financial abundance to you, is letting this woman go. And more importantly, letting this energy of lack, of desperation go, and accepting what is here right now, because there's so much abundance for you right now. There's so much. Do you see that? Do you wake up in the morning and see what you do have versus wake up with the first thought of what you don't have and how you can get it?
I'm positive, and honestly speaking, I gave up on her anyways. I just still dreamed that she'll come back. I basically gave up on her. I mean,
Yeah.
she's nowhere to be found. But the other question I have is, she has a birthday next month in July. So should I send her happy birthday? Should I send her flowers? Just not even send anything
Well,
for the birthday?
I mean, I don't know that I'd send flowers, but I would, maybe that's when the final letter should come. Send her a happy birthday. Tell her how much she means to you. Wish her well, and then let her know that you're going to give her some space, and that if she ever wants to get in contact with you again, that you're there, and you would love to hear from her.
Yes, I see.
Make it very friendly and not very jilted lovery.
No, I did not write anything nasty to her of any kind.
Sometimes when people have a switch that flips, it's easier for them to respond to you if you seem very like a friend. I call it spraying somebody with friendship Febreze, because it's like it takes away the odor of nasty love and crushes. If she's somebody who's very triggery, the more mellow you are with her, the more chance she'll respond.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good.
But I'm still sorry, sweetheart, and our hearts break for you. And we just want you to feel better. So please let me know how it's going and stay in touch. You're such a nice man, and I only want good things for you. If you want to go on the air with us, 818-437-0886. That's 818-437-0886. We're going to get Amy on with us now. Amy, we're coming for you, baby. And then it looks like Carolyn is next. So if you're looking, that's what's happening, my friends. This is wonderful, Rebecca. You're giving some great advice today. I mean, you always do, but
I feel for our gentleman there.
I do too. I really do. He's a very sweet guy. All right, Amy, here we go. Again, 818-437-0886 if you want to get on the air with us. There are so many people in the chat room right now. We're so appreciative and we love you so much. So, Amy, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Great. Nice to hear your voice.
Nice to be here.
How may we help you? Say hi to Rebecca, and how may we help you?
Hello.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hoping you two ladies can shed some light.
Okay.
Okay, so I feel like I kind of walk right in the middle of the worlds. Like, I have dreams about talking to dead people, but I don't, like in real life, it doesn't happen. I feel like I don't know, I need help because it's like I could have some talent or skill in that direction, but it's not happening. And like, I just don't know where to go. If that makes sense.
Okay. Well, the first place you go is within, right? Does that make sense? I mean,
yeah, totally.
Inside of you is where it all
theory,
begins.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, in theory and in practice, sweetie, the first thing you do is connect to core. Work on exercises, work on things, work on experiences that connect you better to yourself and to spirit, because that's where it all starts. I mean, yes, you have gifts, that's obvious, but it's what you do to get comfortable with them and to learn how to use them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think you're sort of thinking like, because it's all new to you, like there's something that we're going to say like, you have to enroll in Hogwarts, but it's not. It's not any big. You have to learn the secret psychic handshake. It's not like that. It really is, honey. It's just doing it every day. What's the song from Damn Yankees? There's nothing to it but to do it. It's the lyric. I always say that. I love that lyric. You just have to start doing it, and it will grow. The more you do it, the more it will grow. It will grow. When I started here at LA Talk Radio, of my 25 years in radio, this last 10 has been my first time really interviewing people. I was interviewing folks, and my gifts were growing just from interviewing people every day. They grew so big that people started calling me out and dragging me out of the psychic closet. Like I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't even really identify the gifts as gifts, but just using them every day, which you do when you interview strangers and make them sound like your friends in 5 minutes. On that path of using it every day, my gifts grew huge. So the best way you can start using your gifts is to use them, love. That's where it all starts. Does that make sense?
Okay. I mean, yeah, I totally get it. But like a few callers ago, she said, like I'm fairly isolated. So like, do I use them on other people who I don't talk to very many other people, or
Right.
like, is it a meditation type thing? Like, that's where I'm kind of lost.
Meditation is beautiful. Finding YouTube videos that you resonate with. I'm a crystal junkie. I would start working with crystals. I think that's always a wonderful idea. Go look at some tutorials and listen to psychic people talk about their gifts like Rebecca and I are doing now. If you go to WeLightworkersUnite.com, you can see a bunch of these broadcasts and see a bunch of people that I think are some of the best around that work with me. You learn a lot about what it's like to have gifts every day, and just start seeing the things that resonate with you. Consider this like your school time. This is your Hogwarts, and find the things that resonate with you, the things that really, are you interested first in growing your intuition? Are you more interested in dealing with your empathy? Are you interested in being able to be, clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient? What is your claircognizant? What are your things that you think are your strongest gifts and that you really want to grow? What direction do you want to grow in? Do you want to be a medium? Do you not want to be a medium? For a long time, I was like, I don't want to be a medium. Get that? I don't want dead people to talk to me. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Now I've given up and I'm just a medium and I let people talk to me, but not at my own house in the middle of the night. So, you can set the boundaries for what you want to study. You have talent. If you were like a fine artist, right? You have, you can draw. Now you're going to pick your specialty. So start picking out the things that you really want to do and start working on it. You don't necessarily need other people, because right now is your study time, sweetie. So right now is your time to connect to you, to your core, to locking all your chakras in, and to connecting to spirit and beginning this relationship with them that you've always had a relationship with them as a person, but now you're going to begin to have one as a light worker in addition to that. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
And it's so easy. I think you're thinking of it as a much bigger thing than it is. It's only really hard for folks that don't have gifts and really want to grow their gifts. If you already have gifts, it's really easy. So if you're somebody who can, sing the hell out of karaoke and someone casts you in a musical, that's a very small leap. It's much harder to be somebody who has to train and train and train to even be on tune to sing at karaoke. So you're already 75% of the way there, sweetie. Rebecca?
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're so close.
Okay, I have a lot to tell you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Please.
I have a lot
to
to tell you.
Uh-oh.
Okay. No, this is good. This is great. I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy that you called, that you reached in today, because, so I'm just excited because, I love people who are ready, and you're ready, and I feel that, and I can feel Madre Sarita is my grandmother, and she's my teacher still, and I can just feel her really excited, because she was always really excited for new students. And that's what you are, sweetheart. You really are in training right now.
Yeah.
And so the first thing that I want to say is start with right where you're at. So your dreams, right? You say you're dreaming that you're talking to dead people. That's an interpretation that, sometimes they're dead people, but it's just the disincarnate, right? They're just disincarnated.
Mm-hmm.
They're not of the body. They're spirits, okay? So let's lift that term dead people, because now we're looking for people who have passed, when really what you're connecting with are spirits. You're connecting with energies, okay? That some of them have been human before, but some aren't, okay? Some aren't. And that's what I want you to expand your definition of that, because you do what life is asking you to do is to start having a conversation with the disembodied. Okay. And okay. And it's already happening through your dream time. Okay. Don't underestimate the dream time. Just because it's happening there, but not happening in what I call the waking dream, doesn't mean that you're not already doing it. Okay. So trust that process. And that's one thing that I want you to add to your practice is I want you to keep a journal by your bed. Okay. And anytime you wake up, before you do anything, you just write whatever was just happening. Okay. Whether they were words that you remember or describing the scene, just write in your journal. And just even in the morning, if you don't remember anything, just make that habit of opening the journal and putting the pen to the page. And even if you're just drawing pretty pictures, you know what I mean? And just get in that habit, okay? That you are present there to write in your journal and to channel whatever just got channeled through in your sleeping dream, okay? The next thing that I want you to do is, it is a meditation practice, because you are a channel, you are a medium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the gift that is being asked of you to develop right now. So every day, sit down in meditation, at least 15 minutes. That was one Madre Sarita's trap. She'd say, "All you need, mija, is 15 minutes. That's all it takes, just 15 minutes." And so you sit down in 15 minutes, and next thing you look up, and an hour has passed, right? So that was her little enticement, right? But anyway, I'll give you the same enticement. Start with 15 minutes and just commit to that. Make that commitment every day. It doesn't have to be in the morning. It can be at nighttime. Feel your way through that. You may want to try morning and nighttime and see how those impact what's happening in your dream time. That's what I used to do, was morning and night. Okay. And the meditation practice is what is really important. The first step is just to raise your vibration. Okay. It's not necessarily to quiet your mind. Okay. Don't worry about, do your best to shift your mind into being present and in service. Right. And there's tricks to do that, of just slowing your breath and focusing on a mantra to just give the squirrel a nut to chew, right?
Squirrel.
But squirrel. But don't count on that squirrel shutting up. Okay, it's not really the point of it. The point is to raise your vibration. And in fact, we can use the squirrel to help us raise our vibration by engaging it into the meditation, by basically doing a self-guided meditation. Okay. So this is really what Sarita, how she trained me to be a medium, was we always started every meditation with a prayer. So whatever that is for you. Okay.
Yep.
And then, and we would light a candle. And then she would tell me, now just dream, Mija. She said, just dream. Imagine yourself wherever you want to be, in the mountains, flying like an eagle, or a fish in the river swimming and jumping through the waves. Wherever you want to be, imagine yourself there. And that's all she had me do. And it was so pleasurable. It was like my most favorite, like before then, I was always like trying to quiet the mind and like, shh, you know what I mean? It was like, here's this woman just telling me to use the imagination to play. And what was happening as I was imagining was that, yes, my frequency was being raised. My vibration was lifting and lifting and lifting. And I was giving, at the same time, giving the squirrel a nut to chew. Okay. So while all of that was happening, this channel of my vibration, my frequency, was raising and expanding and opening. Okay. Now, what I didn't know, because I didn't speak Spanish at the time, was that her prayer was essentially setting the intention for spirits, our spiritual brothers and sisters, anybody that had a message, to come through and to use our little daughter, Rebecca, as their medium. So that was the intention that was set at the onset of the meditation, of each meditation. I didn't know. And so what's going to happen is your vibration will raise, okay, will lift. You might even feel yourself kind of start to disintegrate, start to kind of lift out of your body. You might feel like the spiral of life is what Sarita called it, which is like a DNA helix, okay, that's like just flows through everything. And you may feel that, like you may feel like the room spin, or you might feel your body start to twist. You may have already had this experience. And that is something a little bit different. That's where you're kind of lifting out of your body and going for a little astral travel. Okay. But there's also an energy that comes in where you feel that presence with you. And for me, I'm a writer. I channel that way, but I'll channel out loud. If you've ever read any of my writing, it's very lyrical. I write out loud. So for me, when I feel the energy come present, and it's more like the spiral delivers an energy into me or next to me, and I feel a presence in the room, I feel like everything kind of gets brighter. And for me, because I channel through the word, I can feel this energy in my throat. It's just, and it's not just in my throat, it's like my whole being, like there's an overwhelm and it needs a way out. And so the practice is, once you feel that, and even if you're not sure, even if you're like, I think it's just me here, because I can't tell you how many times Sarita said, okay, we have a spiritual brother that wants to speak through you, Mija. Open your mouth and talk. And like she would do this in front of like a group of people, like, you know, and she'd be like, oh, Rebecca's got a message. She's got a little spiritual brother with her. And I was like, no, I don't. It's just me. I think you're mistaken. But lo and behold, like, I mean, when Sarita told you to do something, you did it. And I would open my mouth and I would talk. And at first I would just describe what I was seeing, like the imagery, because I really believed it was just me there. So I was just like, well, okay, well, I'll at least give them a nice experience and I'll bring them into this meditation that I'm having. And I would just describe what I was seeing and experiencing, the visions that I was having. And all of a sudden there I am delivering a message. And it is you and it's not you at the same time. Okay. Like it was me and it was not me at the same time. It's the all. It's the everything coming through, and it is you. And so it will use your language. It will use you. And, you know, yeah, there are times that you won't even recognize what you're saying. That's like a full trance. But don't worry about that. Actually, to me, the better tool, you know, as a healer is to not go into full trance, but to be in both places at once. That's where you started your question out at, right? You feel like you're like in between worlds, right? And I would argue that you're in both worlds. and you're just having a hard time finding out how to bring those two together into one voice. And so
Yes.
that's this process here. You are a medium, bring them together into one voice. Trust that, yeah, it's just you, and it's not just you. It's all of life. So this is your practice, sweetheart, and you are a medium. Trust that. Trust that you're already doing the work, and it's not just dead people. It's spirits. It's life coming through you. And you have many big, beautiful messages to deliver, and be open to, it may not be through the vocal, like through the word.
Right.
It may not be through writing like it is for me. It may be different. Everybody channels differently. Okay. It's helpful if we can deliver it to word, right? Or to something tangible, right? Artwork, you can paint, right? It's something if we can manifest something physical, because those that you are going to serve need that physical. They need something to engage with. They need something that translates the energy to them. Okay. Now, of course, you can translate it just giving it through your eyes and through your hands and delivering a healing energy. But why not hone your skill? And I don't know, it's not clear to me what that is, what your mechanism is going to be. But that's, medium, right? What is your medium as a medium?
Yeah, it's not clear to me either, and that's part of the angst. And sometimes I can...
An empath.
I
really,
feel
you're
like
a really strong empath, sweetheart.
Like sometimes I feel the energy coming through, but I don't know how to express it.
Right.
And it hurts. Like, I know that energy gets blocked up in me, and it hurts. It hurts.
Well, it doesn't matter. Give it a way out. That it doesn't matter the way right now. Just try out a few different things and see how they all feel. I know for me, it felt very strange when I first opened my mouth and spoke. It was hard for me to even move my jaw. It felt like it had been sewn shut. And I was there like this, and somebody to say, Mija, talk, open your mouth and talk. And I'm going, I can't talk right now. Like it literally felt like it was sewn shut. And it took all of my will to just move my mouth. And then it took a lot of willpower to speak something. And without engaging the mind, because that's what's going to happen is your mind is going to step in the moment you start talking. Your mind will get engaged, and it's key to just like let that go as best as you can. Just let it go and just stay with the energy. Almost like
but when it flows, it feels so good.
Yes, exactly. It's almost like delivering a guided meditation for other people. Do that for yourself. Just practice out loud at home. And have your journal there in case like that's how it wants to come through. It wants to write, or it wants to color. It wants to draw pretty pictures. Or maybe your body wants to move. I don't know. But the medium isn't as important as the giving it the way out, being the channel itself and giving it the way out and practicing that. And you may have a myriad of ways. Like I speak out loud and I write, I play music, I make up songs.
I do all those things too.
Yeah. And I channel through my hands, my eyes, my whole body just becomes this thing that is delivering energy. So it doesn't matter.
There is no wrong way to do it, sweetheart. As long as you're walking in the light and you're not physically hurting your being, there is no wrong way to do it.
Okay.
You have to remember that.
Yeah, I think like my view of it is so limited. Like you either speak it or write it or paint it. And I'm not a painter, I'm not a writer. It's like I'm already counting myself out of a lot of ways.
You don't have to be any of those things, sweetheart. And you'll be surprised the things that you'll become. You'll be surprised things you'll become that you never thought you were because you relax into it. That's the most important thing. You just have to relax into it, and you have to open up your soul like a giant offering bowl and accept everything. And then let the universe guide you and tell you where you're supposed to go. Sometimes the universe is trying to give us stuff, honey, and we're blocking it because we're like, no, I'm this. No, I'm not this. No, I know I'm this. Wait a minute, I'm this. Wait, I'm not this. And we're telling universe what we're supposed to be, and universe is our creator. So they're like, we're trying to help you be what we want you to be, and you're not listening. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yes.
And that's hard, sweetheart. They want us to listen. And
Yes.
when you're a big tough human, you think you know everything. So we need to get better about listening. You're so going to be okay, sweetheart. You're a lovely person, and your gifts are beautiful, and you have so much to share with the world. You have to just not freak yourself out about it.
Yeah. Well, this was tremendously helpful. Like, you have no idea how
Sweetie, we are
helpful
always
this was.
here. You have my info. You have everything. We are always here for you. That's what we do. That's the purpose of Lightworkers Unite, is for us to get together and help as many people as we can help. We love you. We just want you to be happy. Be happy, friends. Don't worry. Be happy. Okay, we have time for one more quick one. I know, right?
I told you I had a lot to share.
That's okay. That's all right. I had things to do too. No worries, my friends. We're going to get Carolyn on really quick. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba, boop. It's the Skype song.
Is that what it was?
It's like when Grover lives in your Ways program with Cookie Monster. Carolyn, welcome to the show. How may we help you, my friend?
Hi. Oh, am I live right now?
You are. You're live. How about that?
Oh, wow. Who knew?
You made it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
So, I guess I just wanted to mention I'm kind of amazed that a few recallers, I had a similar kind of scenario going on. Like, I'm also writing a book.
Oh, beautiful.
A series. Yeah, and I've also kind of like in my cocoon and haven't been a hermit, just kind of I don't know, like not even really getting back to my friends. Just I don't know why, but I'm just not really social, even though I kind of found it right now.
You're deep in the channel, baby. Deep in the channel.
Yeah. But yeah, and I've also, kind of had a lot of dead-end relationships with, unavailable men emotionally. And I'm just kind of taking a break from all that right now.
Good.
And surrendering, which
Good.
is probably one of the hardest things I've had to
Right.
do. Because it's kind of always been like my number one thing that I wanted. And I've realized that probably the more I want it, the more I'm pushing it away.
Yeah.
But
And the more
anyway,
you're looking
question,
for it in the wrong places, sweetheart.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm also kind of like in a place where I just need something to change in my life. I've been disabled for many years, but I'm with my parents. I actually decided today I have to move out. It's just very negative. It's very hard for me to even stay positive enough to really write my book. So, I don't really have the financial resources. I'm still, in the process of applying for disability. So I don't know. I guess I'm just feeling stagnant, and I just, kind of curious, is there anything good
There's all good
in store for me?
Yeah. There's all good. You're working on a book. You're deep in the channel. It's all good stuff, sweetheart. It's I think you're just frustrated, and that's why you can't see how much good there is. They're so good. Yes, it is time for you to get out on your own, but that's a good thing. It's good for you to be in your own space where there can be more channeling. But again, that's a good thing, sweetie. That's a beautiful thing. So the book is beautiful. The channeling is beautiful. The letting go of toxic people and refusing to partner with the wrong people, that's beautiful. It's all beautiful, sweetheart. The journey of disability might not be beautiful when you first look at it, but it has changed you, and it's made you stronger. It's made you softer. It's made you more aware. It's made you more in depth. It's made you kinder. It's beautiful in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that kicks our ass makes us stronger, and it makes us softer. So you're just at the precipice between shedding Carolyn 1.0 and moving into Carolyn 2.0. And that can be a bit of a scary place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're feeling the growing pains and the frustration, like when you were little and you would go, man, 4th grade sucks. I want to go back to 3rd grade. I think that's where you're at. You're moving forward and you're feeling the growing pains. And because we're almost out of time, I'm going to throw this to Rebecca.
And so this might come across a little harsh. Don't use your parents as an excuse. Okay? You have overcome so much, and you know yourself to be something other than this body. And that you know how to live in other places, right? You know how to go in other places. This book, it's not just one book, it's books, plural. So there is good coming, and you just have to be patient right now and stop using your parents as an excuse to stop your creative process. You know how to travel. You know how to journey. Do it. Use the skills that you have. You're using them as an excuse and nothing more, because you are, you're reaching these moments that do feel scary or do feel like scary. You're in that abyss of creativity. I know it. I'm there. I'm with you, sister. Like I'm writing my own book right now, and it's like sometimes you just hit those moments where you're like, I don't know what to say, and then we look around and we're like, why is it not flowing? Why is it not flowing? And don't look outside of yourself for that. Just trust the process, trust the creative process. Sometimes it's going to flow, sometimes it's not going to flow. Write every day, regardless of your situation, every day. And the disability will come through and you will move out. It's not happening right this instant. Don't shoot yourself in the foot, okay? It's not happening right this instant. Be smart and wise about the move that you make. But it is going to happen, and you are writing more than one book, and it's all good things. It's all good things, but you have to stop using your parents as an excuse, because guess what? You'll move out and you'll find another excuse. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is an important thing for you to overcome.
I agree. I agree, sweetheart. We're with you. We love you. You're going to be okay. We're here when you want to reach out. Thank you for the call. I'm so sorry we ran out of time. I'm sorry for everybody whose calls we couldn't get to. I know we had a list of people waiting. Try next time. We'll be back next Tuesday for Psychic Tuesday here on LA Talk Radio, where my psychic world takes over, my Haunted Playground show from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific time, and my Sheena Metal Experience show. And you can always find my psychic practice at IamRaisingYourVibration.com and at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com, and my nonprofit movement of peace, love, kindness, and unity at RaisingTheVibration.org and at IamRaisingTheVibration.com. Rebecca, where can they find you?
At Shaman Sister everywhere on social media, and Rebecca Haywood, HAYWOOD.com.
And I'm also at SheenaMetalExperience.com, LATalkRadio.com, and everywhere on social media at Sheena Metal. It's the Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio. And you know what happens here, my friends? Every Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific time, we rip the veil off the human sideshow and expose those big old Homo sapiens at their most bizarre sometimes and at their most beautiful every single day. And you know it's my show, and that's true, my friends. It is my show. But what it really is, always and forever, it's your experience. Thanks for listening. Have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow right here on LA Talk Radio.
Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.